Hello and welcome back. Today I will be making the exterior of a haunted house. Of course, coming out in October, we're definitely in our fall spooky season time, and we have Halloween coming up soon. So I wanted to make a haunted house. This is on the lot for Vlad, up on the top of the hill where his mansion usually is in Forgotten Hollow that came with vampires. I really wanted to use this lot mainly because of the aesthetic that it provides with the surrounding of this lot. So not only is this lot really big in general, but we do have all of the tombstones and everything surrounding the cemetery and graveyard. And it also already comes with a lot of fog. I do end up adding some fog machines on the lot as well, just for a little bit extra fog on the actual lot itself. But for the most part, generally I am using quite a lot of life and death and vampires for the exterior, at least. I'm not quite sure what the interior is going to mostly include, but I'm assuming right now that it probably is also going to be a lot of vampires and life and death, just with the aesthetics that came with those packs anyways. So to just add a little bit extra on the lot, I didn't want to just add like an entire graveyard on the lot when there already is one right next to it. So I wanted to add this body of water here. So going in with move objects on so that I can get things into areas where the grid might not usually allow it. I ended up doing more of like the vampires, and then a good amount of actually this dry grass that came with Horse Ranch. But again, definitely using quite a lot of vampires just to also match what is going on in the surrounding of this lot. But we do have a main entrance in the front and then a little side entrance there, of course, going in with some with the base of the foundation, considering going with the Castle Estate kit, but of course going with this life and death. Now as far as the wallpaper and everything goes, I wanted to make it look like it was very, very old. It's been there for a very, very long time. So I knew I wanted to make a good amount of it stone, but I also wanted to use some siding. So I ended up doing siding on the middle main square and then doing stone on all of our little bump outs for accents. Of course, making this pretty much everything that I do is black. Maybe like some gray accents, but for the most part, what I'm doing is just mixing different shades of black. And I end up doing a lot of the windows and accents from vampires, as well as from life and death. Obviously, those are very much so the recurring packs that are mostly used. We do have a couple of others. Mostly other standouts would probably be Horse Ranch, but definitely using a good amount of the newer packs mixed in with vampires, of course. So definitely wanting to figure out the window situation, which I ended up just needing to go inside and make a layout so that I could figure out where the windows would end up working as far as what sorts of rooms there would be. I do that portion off camera just to save some time and make it so that this video is still mostly focused on the exterior portion and not really focus on the interior at all. Figuring out the floor plan wasn't too difficult either. You can pretty much see it here now. Again, totally going in with mostly life and death and vampires. I do want to have this tower portion be accessible, so I ended up doing a fun little situation off to the right side of the build. I believe this is going to end up being a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom mansion, or 2.5. We'll see. You can mostly see a good little glimpse of what the floor plan on the inside is going to end up looking like. But I was definitely wondering what I would end up doing for the outside. That part was a little bit tricky. I also needed to make a game plan as to what I wanted to do on the inside as well. So now that I finally have the all of the windows and a good amount of like the base of the exterior figured out, now I get to actually go in with some nice details. So this is where a good amount of the fun really gets started for adding just additions to the house's personality, mostly involving trying to figure out some of the window rails that I could put on the outside, mostly just on this tower here. I just like the look of it, giving it a little bit extra. Let's see, and then I do go in and add a little bit more to the actual center of the house, just giving it a little bit more personality. And adding a little bit more detail on there, doing it also on the second floor. And a good trick if you ever are having trouble with the placement is to actually just do it based off of where the room is located that it's attaching to. But now I'm going in with some of the dead ivy that comes with vampires and really just going crazy on this tower here pretty much, making it so that it can kind of nicely wrap around the whole thing and deleting all of the ones that poked out of the roof. Also adding in some spandrels and going in with a little bit more foliage now that I have a good idea as to what the house is really going to end up looking like. I do open up bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects so that I can have more access to the plants and foliage that you see around the neighborhood in Forgotten Hollow that comes with the vampire pack. Just wanting to make it look a little bit more grown out, a little bit less well kept. I do also add some of these sicksome mosquito traps as well as some plasma trees, just so that we can have a little bit of some playable content on the outside of the house. I do also add in a mausoleum from Life and Death, but besides that, I didn't have too many ideas as to what I wanted to do on the outside. I think what I'm gonna do for one of my next videos is going to be making more of like a fall pumpkin patch sort of situation. So now I have more of the spooky side that I'm working on right now with this haunted house, but I do really like fall season, so I would like to ideally make a nice little lot for like a pumpkin patch and maybe some Sims that live there and take care of the grounds and everything. Here I am right now, really just bringing together everything that I could find that might work on this lot for the exterior, and really just ending up going with a lot of the choices that were with Life and Death. I didn't do a lot of the spooky stuff or like party pack sort of things, just because this more has an actual like haunted, not just artificially spooky. So I kind of just took out all of the things that were more on like the cutesy side. And I wanted to include things for other occults. So I did add one of the fairy houses that came with the new pack. Here I am also going in with a good amount of those fog machines so that there is a good amount of it on the actual lot. Some of them don't work the best, but some of them work really, really well. So not upset about doing all of that and everything. Making just like a personal little shrine over here, maybe for somebody that Vlad loved in his past, something like that could be interesting. I do still have Vlad living on this lot. You will definitely be able to see him when we do some of the shots at the end of the video, just having the house be seen in live mode, coming in with some of the beautiful statues that comes with vampires. I do also have a nice cauldron in the back. I wanted to do something for all of the occults, but honestly, Vlad is not a fan of werewolves, so I didn't include anything of them. Just did things for witches and fairies, thought that was the best suited anyways, and of course the mausoleum would be good for ghosts or anything like that. Really going in with just some details now, putting some things on the front porch, adding some little cracks and stuff into the house. I end up considering doing some of these carved pumpkins on the table, but then I decide to actually make it look like something that would be used in real gameplay. And yeah, so we are pretty much coming up to one of the really end portions of this video, trying to figure out any final details. And we are coming up pretty soon on having, here I go, adding actually some of the things for werewolves, doing one of these little stone tablet things, which I thought was kind of spooky on the spooky side. I did these werewolf beware signs that come from Greg. It's not entirely fitting for who actually lives here, but I just liked the vibe that came with those. I did also add some locations for moon petals, so that's something that I included that would be good for the werewolves. Just now going in with a little bit of texture on the ground, and then we're going to go into some shots in actual live mode. So here we are. I actually took it out of the manage worlds option, and I'm in live mode now. So we are pretty close to finishing up this exterior. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have made it all the way to the end here, I just want to thank you so much. I really appreciate it. A lot of time and energy and love goes into these videos, so I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.